The grand final, the biggest night in the rugby league calendar. A time when mortals become stars and stars become legends. For the fourth time in 5 years, it's St Helens versus Leeds Rhinos, the fiercest of rivalries. With the game tied early at 2 apiece, it fell to the smallest man on the pitch to finally break the deadlock. A duck, a step, followed by a burst of acceleration to the line. A try that only Rob Burrow could score, sparking the Rhinos to another victory and picking up the man of the match along the way. And for many, this would be a life-defining moment. Yet for Rob Burrow, this was just one chapter in a story of joy and anguish, inspiration and suffering. In this video, we'll explore who this man really is, his journey to becoming a rugby icon, and how his tale went on to inspire a nation. To truly appreciate his inspiration, we first though need to talk size, because this man in question is a David on a field full of Goliaths. Physicality is at the core of rugby league. Each game sees 400 collisions on the field as teams fight towards the goal line. Given such brute force, it's insane that an undersized player could survive, let alone thrive. Burrow made it his mission to break this stereotype from a young age. He began playing rugby at just 7 years old. It was a born passion. Playing through high school, he kept hearing the same phrase over and over. Good player, but too short. Burrow though was able to flip the narrative and turn his size into his superpower. His speed and elusiveness caught the attention of his local club, no more so than Daryl Powell, who handed him his debut in 2001. An opportunity Burrow seized with both hands, picking up the Young Player of the Year in his first full season. And from there, he never looked back. He formed part of a Rhinos Dynasty that went down in the history books. They broke a 32-year wait for a league title over rivals Bradford Bulls, marking the start of a golden decade for the club, going on to win 6 of the next 10 titles, defeating their Australian counterpart 3 times, and alongside leaders like Kevin Sinfield and Jamie Peacock, Burrow formed the team's spine through all of this success.
That was my last year as Rhinos coach, and we just won the grand final in 2007. And that was kind of when Rob wasn't just electric and dangerous, he was starting to run his team.
He played 16 years for the Rhinos as a one-club man, contributing 196 tries and notching 18 caps for his country. His success serves as an inspiration in how the underdog can triumph in a sport dominated by giants. But in 2019, just 2 years after retiring, news broke that shocked the world.
Well, Rob, first thing obviously to ask is, how are you?
You know, I'm really positive, really good, considering obviously the news a week further on. But apart from the voice and bits and bats, muscles flickering, other than that I feel absolutely normal, so I'm really positive about that.
Burrow was diagnosed with motor neurons disease. MND impacts the motor neuron nerves responsible for sending messages from the brain to the muscles, causing the body to weaken. So whilst the brain can remain completely functional, it severely impacts a person's ability to walk, talk, even breathe. Given its rarity, MND is a massively underfunded area of research, with no known cure for the disease. Rob Burrow was given less than 2 years to live.
You have your good days, your bad days, but yeah.
This devastating news might have broken a lesser man, but that wasn't in his character.
Maybe it's the athlete in us all, where, you know, we don't want to lie down and just take it. I'm taking it as a challenge. I don't intend to lie down, I get stuck into it and a bit like my career,
It was time for him to defy expectations all over again. He quickly dedicated himself to fundraising for the community, raising awareness on the condition head-on in the media, in spite of the toll it was taking.
I found that in 3 weeks, so I'm lucky. Early stages, so, whatever I can do to raise awareness, I'm gonna happen.
And Burrow wouldn't be alone on this journey. His wife, Lindsay, alongside his 3 children, supported his cause through media appearances and fundraisers to reveal truly how horrific the impacts of MND can be. But the support for Burrow didn't stop with family. It extended to those closest around him throughout his career, none more so than his lifelong captain, Kevin Sinfield. In November 2020, Sinfield committed to running 7 marathons in 7 days to raise money, and the response was overwhelming. His initial goal of 77,000 was obliterated, raising over 1.2 million by the time he crossed the finish line. Over the next 3 years, Sinfield would go on to raise millions for Burrow's cause through endurance challenges, including 7 ultramarathons preceding the World Cup final.
Rob Burrow, Donny Weir, Stephen Darby, Ed Slater, the full MND community, the full Rugby League community have got behind the MND community. I can't thank you enough.
Running over 100 miles in 24 hours.
Now we're far better educated and understand MND over the last 18 months, 2 years than they've ever done.
And participating in the inaugural Rob Burrow Leeds Marathon alongside Lindsay. During this final event, the image of Sinfield carrying Burrow over the finish line encapsulates the power of friendship through adversity and became an iconic image in support of the cause. Support across the UK, which only continued to grow and grow. By 2024, the pair had raised over £50 million, with a dedicated wing at Leeds Hospital opening specialising in research for the condition and royal recognition for their fundraising efforts. This exposure has helped in generating more attention and public funding to find a cure, with the UK government committing £50 million as of 2023. By this point in time though, like many that suffer under MND, Burrow's condition had continued to worsen, only able to communicate through an eye-tracking keyboard.
She is the best wife and mother anyone could wish for. It's not easy at times, but we do our best.
It was heartbreaking to watch, and yet just like in his playing days, he fought beyond expectations. It became clear though that his fight was slowly, tragically, coming close to the end.
Got some really sad news to bring you this evening. Rob Burrow, the former England and Leeds Rhinos rugby league player, has very sadly passed away at the age of 40.
Rob Burrow died peacefully on June 2nd, 2024, 4.5 years after his initial diagnosis. Tributes immediately flooded in from across the country, none more so than those who stood by him the most.
Incredibly proud, Sally. I couldn't put into words just how proud I am of Rob. I think he was just such an inspiration to so many people.
I wish you could have seen the outpouring of love. But it's very, very rare you lose someone who's so special to so many different people.
The streets were lined for his funeral, and the rugby community paid tribute in the way it knows best. With that Man of the Match trophy Burrow won years prior, now honoured in his name. A couple of months prior to his death, Burrow had sat down to record one final message to the world. But it wasn't one of sorrow, it wasn't one of pity, it was one of hope.
I hope one day we find a cure and live in a world free of MND. By the time that you watch this, I will no longer be here. I am just a lad from Yorkshire who got to live out his dream of playing rugby league. As the father of 3 young children, I would never want any family to have to go through what my family and children have since my diagnosis. I hope I have left a mark on the disease. I hope it shows to live in the moment. I hope you find inspiration from the whole story. My final message to you is whatever your personal battle, be brave and face it. Every single day is precious. Don't waste a moment. In a world full of adversity, we must still dare to dream. Rob Burrow, over and out.